next on 13 ABC Action News at 5.
Well, come get some.
A death sentence followed by outrage in an Erie County courtroom.
That's on me. I mean, we fumbled the rollout on this health care law.
And the president takes the blame, offering a fix for people who lost insurance plans he promised they could keep.
It is wonderful that the community is stepping up, as they always do in this area, to really support the relief effort.
And the Bucket Brigade is on its way to the Philippines. The first ISO-8 shipment heads out to help the typhoon victims.
Not bad out there today weather-wise. We did manage to hit the 50s for a high temperature. It still looks warmer and windier for the weekend.
And we start tonight with a breaking news alert. Police shot and wounded a man inside a children's hospital. They tried to arrest him on a felony warrant. Welcome to Action News at 5. I'm Diane Larson.
And I'm Lee Conklin. This happened at the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Local sheriff says no hospital staff or patients were hurt. Now, police say the suspect's a felon, wanted for being in possession of a gun. He was visiting the neonatal unit and had been holding a baby. Sheriff says he was holding that baby when police approached the suspect. Police say he put the baby down, ran, and showed his gun. Police then shot the suspect, but it's still unclear if the suspect fired his weapon. Officers that man to another hospital and medical complex for treatment.
And more breaking news this evening. One of the 3 CSX workers hit by a driver while on the job has died. Paul Castle of Kentucky died on Tuesday. The Wood County Sheriff's Office says 26-year-old Corey Rickard drove around 2 sets of barricades on October 28th, hitting the workers. Police suspect Rickard was under the influence of something while he was driving during that accident. He was arraigned on charges of aggravated vehicular assault at the end of October. Now, CSX released this statement this afternoon. Mr. Castle's many friends at CSX were deeply saddened to learn of our tragic loss. We extend our heartfelt condolences to his family, colleagues, and friends.
And new details now after an accident at a local high school. School counselors were available at Whitmer High School today after a student was hit by a car in the Auto Tech building yesterday.
A teacher at Whitmer's Career and Technology Center helped in the school's quick response. 13 ABC's Alexis Means is live to tell us about the student's condition. Alexis.
And police say the student's condition is improving. The teacher who helped him knew exactly what to do because he's an EMT as well. Adam Pickard is Whitmer's telecommunications teacher by day and a firefighter EMT for Whiteford Township in Michigan by night. He was in his classroom when he got a call about the injured student.
They advised me that I was being summoned down to the Auto Tech lab to kind of deal with that.
Pickard and other staff members aren't discussing the student's condition. It all unfolded yesterday afternoon when a student started to pull out of the building after receiving an oil change. That's when the driver accidentally hit a fellow classmate who was bent down in front of the truck, pinning him against the work table. Firefighters say the student suffered head injuries. Mr. Pickard's nearly 9 years of EMT training kicked in. He attended to the student until emergency crews arrived.
It's really second nature to me. I love helping out. That's why I'm a firefighter in my township where I live. I want to help out any way I can, and it's how I give back to my community. And here I'm happy to be utilized to kind of help out here in the building here when things arise.
Pickard is also a graduate of Whitmer's Career Center. School administrators tell 13 ABC counselors met with automotive students today to discuss any of their concerns.
As you can imagine, with any traumatic incident anywhere, from any size or nature, it's going to kind of be a little tight around the school, and people are going to be upset and things like that. But, you know, kids are going to work through it. Ultimately, we have counseling staff here that are more than willing to help out our kids and talk to them and make sure their feelings and their needs are met.
Counseling services are also available to any Whitmer student who needs it. In Toledo, Alexis Means, 13 ABC Action News.
Penalty of death. A judge handed down a death sentence to a convicted killer today in Erie County. But Curtis Clinton did not go quietly.
Well, come get some.
Officers restraining Clinton. Now, earlier this week, a jury recommended he be executed for strangling Heather Jackson and her 2 young children. The triple murder happened in September of last year. Toledo police searching for this man who allegedly punched a woman in the face and broke her jaw. Officers posted this picture of 20-year-old Arthur Hayes to try to drum up some leads. He's wanted for felonious assault. If you have any information on where this man is, you're urged to call Toledo Police or Crime Stopper.
We have a follow-up now to a story that we reported on Tuesday. Toledo is ranked in the top 5 cities in sex trafficking. Authorities call it a degrading crime that rips the innocence away from young girls as young as 11 years old. Police say these victims are the crimes of young girls who come from broken homes, have problems at school, and are runaways. This weekend, sex trafficking experts will gather to educate the community on the violent lifestyle.
That this can be stopped, that this is a problem, and as long as we work together, we can minimize this problem.
The Human Trafficking Workshop is Saturday, November 16th from 10 until 2 p.m. at Unity Methodist Church at 1910 East Broadway. For more information, there's a number right there on your screen.
6 days after that deadly typhoon struck the Philippines, many of the dead are still lying along roadsides, and survivors are searching the rubble for victims. United Nations reporting tonight the death toll is up to nearly 4,500. That figure expected to rise with more information as it's collected from other areas in the disaster zone. The city of Tacloban saw its first major burial today. 100 bodies in black bags were lowered into graves. The help is beginning to pour in now. Japan says it's pledging $10 million in aid and 1,000 troops to the Philippines. Australia giving $28 million. The U.S. $20 million. China pledging $2 million in cash and materials.
In the aftermath of the typhoon, one organization here at home is lending a hand and continues to ask for your help. 13 ABC's Zach Pitts is following that story tonight.
Today, several dozen buckets filled with relief supplies are being hauled out to begin the long trip overseas to the Philippines. The devastation left behind by the massive typhoon has left thousands homeless and in desperate need. ISOH impacts sent supplies before the typhoon hit.
We were just so blessed to find out just 2 days ago that those supplies had actually made it into the Philippines, been pulled through customs, and had gotten out of port and were en route to their destination.
But as the images of the damage surface, it's obvious there's a need. The organization continues to collect items for its bucket brigade, asking the community for things like cleaning supplies, first aid kits, and canned foods.
Our goal is to make sure that we, as a network of humanitarian relief organizations, are maximizing our efforts and utilizing funds and resources in the best possible way.
Well, leaders say the community has done a fantastic job really stepping up and helping with the bucket brigade. But leaders say what they really need right now are cash donations.
We have a secondary logistics team that's scheduled to head out next week, so we need assistance with airfare and all of their expenses. But the freight, the shipping expenses, the fuel, the shipping supplies that it takes to put these loads together, definitely the financial support is greatly appreciated in times like this.
Leaders say it may take months, perhaps years, for families in the Philippines to recover. Leaders say the organization will continue to provide aid as long as it's needed. In Waterville, Zach Pitts, 13 ABC, Action News.
And donations can be dropped off at ISOH Impact's Distribution Center. That's in the 900 block of Farnsworth Road in Waterville. Cash donations are also accepted through the organization's website. We've posted a link on our website, 13abc.com. Talking now about our weather. It was kind of a nice, pleasant day out there, wasn't it?
Really nice, warming up. You can really begin to feel it today. Along with that, pretty strong breeze. Hold on to whatever you had today, Jay.
That's right, yes. Got to put some weights in your shoes, right? Not to blow away today. But that wind really boosted the temperature. Most of us did reach, even surpass, possible on Sunday. And next week, behind that active weather, it's going to get cold again. We'll update the 7-day and have predictor as well coming up.
Today, the president announced a possible fix for all of those Americans who lost their insurance plans that they wanted to keep. What's still in question, will the insurance companies comply? Today, the president took responsibility for the fumbled rollout of his new health care plan, and he announced that insurance companies can keep offering consumers plans that would otherwise be canceled. Those administrative changes are good for just 1 year.
As I indicated earlier, I completely get how upsetting this can be for a lot of Americans, particularly after assurances they heard from me that if they had a plan that they liked, they could keep it. And to those Americans, I hear you loud and clear.
The launch of the Affordable Care Act has been overshadowed by major technological problems with the website. The administration reported yesterday that fewer than 27,000 Americans selected an insurance plan through the federalhealthcare.gov site.
Republicans have been targeting Obamacare since the day it was signed into law, even before that. Now the president facing a revolt from within his own party. One Ohio senator says he is still optimistic.
Go back 45 years when Medicare was rolled out. It didn't work at first. It was, I mean, it worked, but it was a lot of problems around Medicare. 5 years later, people said, what's the big deal? This works for our country. That's what's going to happen on the Affordable Care Act.
Senator Brown says seniors here in Ohio are already getting free preventative care under the new law. And 100,000 young people were able to stay on their parents' insurance plans.
Tonight, an I-Team investigation. Fines are being issued to violators, but very few of those fines are being collected. I-Team reporter Sean Haggerty live tonight with what he's found. Sean?
Yeah, this smoking ban law has been on the books since 2006, and enforcement of the ban started in 2007. And since that time, right here in Lucas County, less than 4% of the fines have been collected. And then there's this. Smoking is still happening inside places like bars. And since the ban took effect, the Toledo Lucas County Health Department has issued more than $300,000 in fines, but has not seen much of that money. The I-Team looking into what's being done to collect that money and why so little is coming in.
Surprised me, no. Discouraged me a little bit, yes. It was a tough go how we were going to do it, and there was a true learning process for a couple years of where the cases are going to go, what they're going to do, what the fight was. I think we now know what we're doing.
So tonight at 6 o'clock, we take a look at this question. If smoking is still happening and the fines are not being collected, will this new law go up in smoke? See what advocates on both sides of the law have to say about that. Reporting live, Sean Haggerty, 13 ABC Action News.
All right, Sean, thank you. Still to come on Action News here at 5. Reaction pours in now following the president's admission that he fumbled.
And what's next for those who have and who are trying to enroll in Obamacare? That's in our Blade Briefing.
Plus the sinkhole that swallowed parts of 2 homes, and it may still be growing.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Diane Larson and Lee Conklin.